Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the new WISE seminar. We extend this welcome to the people who have come from outside CNIO, especially senior friends. As you know, we organize these WISE seminars monthly to raise awareness about gender biases. For this today, we have a speaker who will be a great source of inspiration, Rocío Hervella. Founder and CEO of PRODUCTOS SOLUBLES S.A., Prosol, one of the top 5 manufacturers of instant coffee in Europe. Thank you, Rocío, for accepting our invitation. Rocío studied law in Valladolid University, and she made an MBA at EA Business School. She also did a senior management program at EA Business School and a senior management of food chain companies in San Telmo Business School, and an executive program at ESE Business School. She is also vice president of the Spanish Coffee Association, is member of the executive committee of the European Coffee Federation, so many boards that you are member. She has been president of EFSL, Empresa Familiar de Castilla y León, also president of Spanish Coffee Association, and member of the board of directors of Círculo de Empresarios. Because of her successful trajectory, she has received many awards. I just will tell 2 of them. Woman Entrepreneur, given by El Norte de Castilla, and Woman Entrepreneur, given by CaixaBank. The title of her talk today is What Does Coffee Have to Do with CNIO? Which we can wait to her. And Rocío, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone, and thank you for inviting me to this place, the WISE seminar. I'm really happy and I admire to Maria Blasco, and I had the chance to be with her 2 months ago, and she invited me, and I didn't think twice, because for me it's a real pleasure, and I had the chance of looking at your facilities, and congratulations. I'm really, really happy of being here. The title I've chosen this one because it was difficult for me. But we have done a lot of studies regarding council and coffee. So, and besides, I think that values are the main fuel, I would say. And I think I feel really close to Maria when she was talking, because values were really close. So I will try to make some parallelism, or let's see if we have something to do. The agenda will be this one. It's we have 5 parts here. The first one is some things about me, just a few of them linked to women I'm proud of. Then I will tell just a little bit of Prosol. Prosol is the company I founded. And then I will share with you 5 ideas that I use on daily basis, because this is something that my team is always listening from me. These ideas, I will explain them to you. And finally, I will try to talk about what does coffee have to do with CNIO, just a little bit, and Q&A. So let's start with some things about me, just a little more about me. And iWeek, I'm really showing you what I'm proud of. I belong to this foundation, iWeek Foundation. iWeek Foundation was created to link women who has their own business all around the world. So we are women from 50 countries, and I was asked to join when Caixa awarded me with the prize that Paki was talking you about. So what can we do in iWeek? When we move from one country to another one, we know that we have some women some woman who has developed her own business in the place. And you can imagine that there is a big difference between a woman that has started the activity in Spain or another one who has started the activity in Uganda, for instance, or in Colombia. So we have a lot of things to share. And this is something I'm really proud of. The second association I'm linked with is AMUC. AMUC is an association for women from Cauca. I don't know if you've been to Colombia, but Cauca is a region. It's really a paradise because it's a region with a soil very good for coffee. I have there a farm, a 1 hectare farm, to grow coffee, because coffee, as you know, it's planted just between the tropics. You cannot plant it here. Yes, you can, but you will not obtain coffee. So Cauca is one of the best regions in the world to obtain coffee because of the soil. It's a paradise. But on the other hand, it's really tough to be there. Much more for a woman or for women. Why this? Because the armed conflict is really tough, and it's still there. And when you go there, you can feel that the women and the young people want to be linked to you, and they want your advisor, and they want you to be really linked and to help them. So what we created there through a company that is called Supra Café, in which I have the majority of shares. What we have created there, not created because it was them, the women there, that who have started with this project, we have helped them to strengthen this association because they didn't know how to plant the coffee. They got from the peace agreement, I don't know if you are aware of this, but the peace agreement in Colombia gave to widows and to daughters of people that had died during the conflict one piece of land, but they didn't know how to plant and to grow the coffee. So what we have done through this company that is based here in Madrid, Supra Café, what we have done is to help them, to teach them to plant the coffee that we are having here in Europe, one of the most, in terms of consumptions, intense continent in the world. So we have taught them to plant the coffee that we will buy. So we are buying from them all that they produce. These women are now almost 500. And I will put a video about my company I'm proud of, and I started in 1998, just for you to know me much better.
All beginnings have an end, and all ends have a beginning. Prosol's dream of pouring, the dream of some friends, written on 10 pages. A dream that transformed this land, where sheep had grazed, in a cutting-edge factory with more than 3 kilometers of pipes, where, just by using water and heat, green beans were converted into instant coffee. And this factory has become one of the largest producers of coffee capsules and instant coffee in Europe. Its first kilo of coffee was sold in England in 1999. It now exports to more than 30 countries around the world. Its mission is to provide the best alternative for its customers' brand and to be the favorite option for the consumer with its products and services. Committed to the circular economy, sustainability and the environment. The first Spanish agri-food company to obtain a zero-waste certificate. Prosol grows talent and has close ties to university systems and vocational training, and develops a host of innovative projects in collaboration with research centers around the world. This continuous search for excellence has been recognized with the highest market standards through great many certifications in areas such as food safety. People, culture, strategy, flying the flag of integrity, authenticity and commitment from its more than 300 professionals. A young but experienced team. A company that puts its heart and soul into everything it undertakes, and where the extraordinary is a daily occurrence, thanks to its decisive vision of transcending, derived from those first 10 pages. Prosol, the digital transformation headed up by individuals.
So I hope this is a part of me. This is the Prosol, the company I founded in, just a minute. I don't know. The company I founded in 1998. It was founded by me and two people more. And then we engaged until up to 75 people as shareholders to build this company you've seen. The place is in Venta de Baños. It's a little town in Palencia, not in Valencia, with P. This is something funny because today when the taxi went for me, or the car, he was waiting for the train coming from Valencia. And he phoned me and said, "Hey, you didn't come in this train." And I said, "I'm on the train." I said, no, the train has already come and you are not here. I said, "What train?" And he said, "The train from Valencia." And I said, no, sorry, I come from Valencia with P. So this is funny, but this is the place we are. And these are the products that we are used to do, capsules since 2012, and we are doing a lot of final products with home compost, aluminum, or with industrial compost. So we have a lot of patents in the company, and of course we are always worried about the planet. I will pass another video. I owe you that this is the last one, but it's better for you to know from this video what we do in terms of environmental issues.
Since our creation in the 1998, Prosol has been committed to produce the best coffee for a better world. Our nature has led us into our current project, our plan to achieve net zero emissions. This plan foresees that our industrial operations and energy consumption will be neutral by the 2030. Between 2019 and 2022, the reduction in our carbon footprint meant avoiding a standard combustion car making 560 laps around the world. Or even better, it was the same as seeding 46 forest hectares. Since then, we have avoided the transportation of nearly 500 waste trucks. The sludge treatment has generated energy that could have heated 490 homes.
We make better coffee for a better world. That is why we have invested 13 million euros in a biomass boiler that uses the wells or the coffee grounds that we generate as a source of supply. We are going to reduce emissions by 60% thanks to this biomass boiler. We call this the round-the-clock circular economy strategy.
We are committed to eco-design. We have reduced the weight of our jars, and for this we have saved the world 15 million plastic bottles of 500 milliliters. Moreover, we were the first company in the agri-food sector in Spain to obtain the Zero Waste certification. We give a second life to more than 97% of our waste. We produce different types of capsules, not only aluminum capsules that are recyclable, but also own development of compostable capsules, both for composting at home and or by the industry.
We understand sustainability in three ways: environmental, economic and social. The team is the most important thing for us. That is why we have a team of almost 60 conciliation measures. And it should be noted that the fertility rate is 1 in 6, much higher than the national or regional average.
Prosol awards talent and promotes learning through Coffee School in Palencia and the commitment to professional training cycles. In Prosol, we are committed to society, culture and heritage. We are proud to deliver from Venta de Baños 13 million cups of coffee to more than 30 countries every day.
We are rural, but also international. That is why we are signatories of the United Nations World Pact and the Women's Empowerment Principles. We believe in global sustainability. Better coffee for a better world.
So we've seen just a little bit more about Prosol, and I would say that I'm really proud about the fertility rate because these balancing measures for people having children, if they want to, we think that we have done it well because we are in a higher rate than Spain and in Castilla and León. That is, for us, is 1.6, as you've seen, and in Castilla y León, for instance, is 1.1. So it's a huge difference. So regarding the world of coffee, the coffee world, as I've told you, Europe is one of the most intense in terms of consumption. We are having the 27% of the world, the coffee world. But all of us know that the people in the world is increasing. Since 2013 till now, 1,000 million population has increased. In 2013, we were 7 million of us, and nowadays, we are in the world 1 million more. So what you can see in the right side in the graphic, you can see that there is an increase, a steady increase, but this is because the middle-sized population is increasing in the emerging countries. So Europe nowadays is the one of the most, I would say, the most intense in terms of consumption, but it will not be in 5 years because Asia is gaining a lot of middle-sized population, and South America also is having a big increase in consumption. So we can see is that the balance is more or less in the world. We have a balance between consumption and production. Today, we have a situation, and you can feel it there. There is a tough situation because there are more consumption than production. So today is a tough situation. So that's why we have put some animals there, because this is metaphoric, and I use them to talk about how tough the coffee world has become. We can see the bad with the COVID, what happened with coffee during COVID stage. What happened is that the consumption declined totally out of home. And out of home, for instance, in Spain, we have 1/3. So in my case, with Prosol being one of 5 companies in Europe in instant coffee, we had an increase, a very high increase, because all that we are selling is inside the homes. So we suffered an increase with a lack of people coming to the factories. So we suffer on the other hand, because as I told you, I have this company that I founded, and one share I'm a shareholder of another company for beans. This one was totally stopped. We came into bankruptcy, but Prosol suffered the other situation. So we had an increase, an intense increase. I put the bear because Russia's situation has put us in a very tough situation again with the gas consumption. Gas invoice increases and was multiplied by 6 since January 2 years ago. Termites, because inflation, what is creating is that people is changing habits. So they are buying one type of coffee instead of another one. what people want in general, I mean, is the coffee that is the cheapest one. This is the point. I mean in general terms. But on the other hand, you can find people that want origins, want specialty coffee. So you have a massive situation, and on the other hand, you can find a lot of new consumers coming into the category. So this is a situation we have to follow. Black swans, why? Because we know what's happening with the Red Sea nowadays. We have, in order for you to have the idea, Brazil is producing now almost the 40% of the consumption in the world. Vietnam is producing 20%. Vietnam is one of the main suppliers for us in terms for instant coffee. With the Red Sea situation, because Houthis are cutting the path through the Strait of Hormuz, what we are suffering is that we have a delay of 40 days in receiving the coffee. This is for us is terrible for European countries. So black swans are, as you know, situations that you cannot predict, unpredictable, and it happens, like COVID, like a Red Sea situation, like other situations. And I put the consumption per capita because this is something that there are few people who know. We have Nordic countries, Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. In the case of Finland, they are above 10 kilograms per capita. In Spain, we have 3 kilograms per capita. We think that we have a lot of coffee, but that's not true. We have a lot of space to increase. And we have been talking about coffee. And if you have a very good coffee offering to the consumers, they are going to buy it. If you offer not a very good coffee, the consumption will tell you this is what happened. Because in these countries, they are having the highest, the most expensive coffee that we are selling. So we are selling to all of them. And this coffee is always organic, is always trade fair, is always in the top. It's not a coffee that is a common one. I will start with the first idea I wanted to share with you. Without the heart team, there is no company. We've seen that we have a lot of measures, almost 60 measures for balancing the professional life and the personal life. We have 2 measures that I like the most, that are flexible work. I know that you have it in CENIO. Maria has told me 10 minutes ago, before coming here. And we have another one that is a free leave. You can live during 2 months, a voluntary leave. You can live either you are a woman or a man for your purpose. We don't need to know what do you want to do. And this is something that for us is really important because we are based in Venta de Baños, 6,500 population, so it's really tiny. How can we engage people with project and with values, always with values. Leadership, we understand it like passing boundaries, own boundaries. So everyone have a boundary or some boundaries. So we help people to go through them and to be better. If they want, we want them to become leaders. Innovative because we try to seek solutions for real problems, different solutions. So we are not innovating in the sense of inventing the and very new coffee. We are developing new technology for coffee. So we are giving to the consumer what they are seeking at the highest quality. And we are at a fair price, I would say, because we don't do our own brand with Prosol. We do all third brands. It's called private label, and we are working with big companies or with roasters, local roasters, in 30 countries, as you've listened. Vision in terms of anticipation, because we need to always bench and measure ourselves and to know about geopolitical issues to go further and to go better. Excellent, because we define it as you do, whatever you do it better tomorrow. A little bit better, and measure you. And this is something that we have some tools to measure ourselves. And sustainable, as you have been listening, we understand sustainability in 3 angles: in people, in planet, and in profit also. This is the map we are in. You can find us in all these countries that are shadowed. So it's totally different what we are selling to one place to another one, because the issues are totally different. For instance, in Portugal, you can find a lot of mixes of cereals like barley with coffee. Here you cannot find this kind of mixtures that they call them. But in Portugal, you have 90% of the market in instant is mixed with cereals. In France, for instance, they consume a lot of chicory mixed with coffee also, with milk. So they consume a lot of things different. And we are in New Zealand also. New Zealand is a really profitable market. I like a lot, because they love very good coffee, and they pay for very good coffee, and they are really, really, really good at consumption also. And we are producing more than 14 million cups per day in Venta de Baños with 300 people. We are a team of 300 people inside the factory you've seen in the video. Another idea that I'm talking about is company is nothing but its purpose. We can see it in Senio. The purpose is clear. I had the chance of going with Paki through the installations, the facilities, and I was really impressed, because you can see a lot of things and you can see the purpose of wipe out cancer. To stop cancer. No? You can see it since you come in, and you can feel it. So this is really, really important, because this is the project I meant when I was talking about engaging people. One person will go with you if you really have a really nice project and it is worthy. If not, it will not be a company that attracts people. So in terms of things that we are doing, you've seen that we have stakeholders like all the companies, all the associations, foundations, and we are really linked to society also, because we are linked to different initiatives with society. For instance, one that you've heard in the video, we are supporting a school for people who no need to have initial knowledge of musical knowledge, but they learn how to play with organs, Baroque organs in Palencia, in the province of Palencia I was born in, to play them so the churches can be open again, reopened, because they were closed. So we give another life to some towns through teaching people who don't have any initial knowledge about music, to play the organs in the province. So, and we have summer concerts. We have a lot of activity in this sense. And this is something that we need because we are making coffee. We are selling just 1/3 inside Spain. We are selling abroad 2/3, but we need to be really linked with the society as you do with Senio Art or Senio Friends. I think that this is something that is that links to us. And the success through capabilities and alliances. I've seen it in the presentation also in the Senio. And for us, it's really important because there are 5 companies for instant coffee in Europe, as I told you. But there are not more than 30 in the world. And we are the smallest one in Europe. So we came into the market, the fifth place, and we were the smallest. Why did we get to come into the market? Because of the alliances. Because I say that it's important to know what capabilities you have, but it's much more important to know what you don't have. Because if you know what you don't have, you are going to go with others that have the capabilities that you have lack of. Then we have done a lot of alliances with people in India, in Brazil, with big companies like Tata Company that is making cars, a lot of things. They are huge. And we have done a lot of collaborations, a lot of agreements, and I go often there because they have capabilities that we don't have. One of them is they can grow coffee, they can transform coffee, and they don't suffer, for instance, the energy costs that we have suffered in the past. So we are complementary because we have the market, we have the technology, we have the development. We have very good and talented people. We are one of the most advanced in private label. Private label in Europe is almost 45% of the market. So it's under the supermarkets brand or others brand. And this is something important. This is something that is not happening still in Asia, still in America, still in Africa. So we've seen also that in Senio is these kind of things with medical centers, specialists as you and specialists in different countries is really important to improve and to become, as I know, one of the best centers in the world for developing tools against cancer. And this is the last idea of the 5 I brought to share with you is don't be worried, take action. This is something that there are a lot of people that is always thinking about. I'm worried about this, I cannot do anything about this. If you cannot do anything about something, you have to seek for someone who can do it. This is my way of thinking. And I think that there are 5 tools that are really important in our company. We teach our team to use them because I think that you have to these 5 components, you have to use it in order to take action and not to be just worried. First is clear objectives in our personal life, in our professional life also. Objectives, clear objectives. Second, a roadmap. Third, iron will. So I want to do this and I need to do this, so I need to do this. Positive mentality and a contingency plan, because a lot of things are happening and we cannot manage all of them. So this is something that you have managed always also, and this is something that we do because you cannot manage everything that is happening in the world. And finally, what does coffee have to do with SENIO? We are listening and finding more studies that are linking coffee with some types of cancer. And I'm not an expert on this because I studied law, as Paki said, but there are a lot of studies, not with all types of cancer, and not all type of coffee, but organic coffee, good coffee. There are a lot of studies that are doing, and I think that this is a field that is going to be exploded and is a good one. And last but not least, having a good conversation with a cup of coffee can bring some ideas like Oscar Fernandez Capetillo, that I've seen in the picture, that is working with you, I think. That 2 years ago, I remember when I was preparing this presentation, I read something in El País, in a newspaper, about this scientist. And it was that he was talking about, when he was talking about with a Nobel Prize of medicine, and suddenly he thought about this illness that is like cancer, is devastating, ELA, and he said, I was talking to this Nobel Prize, and suddenly I realized about the solution for this illness. So coffee, they were having a coffee. So something is linked to this. And this is all I wanted to share with you. So if you have some questions, I will be very happy to answer to you.
You have some questions, Maria?
Many thanks for the talk and for coming to the scenario. It's a pleasure to have you here. So I wanted if you can comment more on the 50 measures you have for let's say the family and work balance in your company.
Yes, we have. First of all, we wanted to measure ourselves, and we are certified by EFR, Empresa Familiarmente Responsable in Spanish. And you have to be better than the rest. If not, you are not going to obtain this kind of certification. These kind of measures are from having 2 years more of leave. If you have a child under not 12 but 40, you can make a flexible work, but you can change with if you are polyvalent, because we are making people to become polyvalent if they want. So they have courses for them to train in different positions in the company. So imagine one person is in the line, in the factory line. So if he or she raise the hand, they can start learning an idiom, they can start doing things to change the position. So the internal promotion is really intense in the company. This is one, I would say this is one of the most effective policies inside the company, because they know that they can improve. And Venta de Baños is a place, I don't know if you know it, if you have gone to the north, maybe you have crossed through it, but it was a place that suffered a big restructuration, because there was a sugar factory there. So it stopped 25 years ago. And before it was like for the wire of trains, it was a nucleus, a real important nucleus in the trains mobility in Spain. But that was 15 years ago and no more. So there are a lot of people that are not ready for walking. You have to train them, and we do it. We train them, and we have put in place a school. It's the first one in Spain for coffee. So they can get a certification for becoming a specialist in coffee industry. It has 230 hours, and I think that 60 hours are spent in the factory doing something. So we are occupied with people that is inside the factory and people that is outside the factory, but we can engage inside the factory. So the environment is really important for us. So.
Many thanks. Really a very nice talk. I have actually one comment, one recommendation, and one real question. The comment is that I would wish that the people ruling our cafeteria were here today to hear a bit about real coffee, right? Recommendation is don't try our coffee if you don't want your head to start spinning out like the exorcist girl, because it's really nasty. And the real question is obvious, and probably you have heard this many times. Why Venta de Baños, and how have you overcome the hurdles of being in such a remote, not very well communicated place? Why?
Yes, it seems strange to be in Venta de Baños, but I am from Palencia. And as I told you, there are 5 factories for instant coffee in Europe. 5 companies, not factories. 2 companies are big ones, multinational ones. And 3 of them, we are private label manufacturers. There is another one that is based in Palencia. So in Spain, we are the highest producers for instant coffee in Europe, because we have 3 plants, 1 in Girona and 2 in Palencia. So this is something important, because when you have one factory, and as you have been able to see in the presentation, that consumption is increasing, if you have the technology here, and logistics is not important, because it's a very few part of the coffee. When you transport it to New Zealand, for instance, it's just 2% of the cost. So it's not a big part of the cost that you have in logistics. So place is relevant into, I would say, into issues. First of all, having people trained in instant coffee, and second, the dryness in the region. You in terms of energy, it's energy efficient much more than in a place where humidity is high or contamination is high. So this is a place, the population is less than 25 people per square kilometer. So you don't have contamination, pollution first, and you don't have moisture to dry. So in terms of energy, efficiency is much higher.
Hello, many thanks for the talk. It was very interesting. I was wondering about how is it, let's say, is it economically profitable for the company to be sustainable and to take into account projects like the one you mentioned in Cauca in Colombia? Does it reflect in the price of your product, or you have to invest? How much do you have to invest economically in those kind of projects? I'm wondering because when I buy coffee, I would try to buy better coffee in a sustainable coffee, and I would go for those products. And I wonder how much expensive are those that kind of coffee as compared to the other ones. Do I need to pay more for a product to be sustainable? And you as a company, are you losing money because you want to be sustainable?
Okay. So first of all, you can choose between 3 types of coffee. You can have beans, pure beans. You can have it in capsules, or you can have it in instant. If you go to instant, it's 1 cup is less than 3 cents per cup. If you go through to capsules, it's like 20 cents per cups, 10 times more. If you go to beans, it can be much more. It depends on the origin that you want to. So first thing, first idea, you can choose. You can choose. Why instant is much more efficient in terms of spending? Because technology allows you to do big amounts of coffee, and then you dry it, and you don't stop the factory. So technology is the point, and you just use water and heat. It's all that you need to make an instant coffee. We have invested more than 100 millions since 1998 when we started. I was 28 years ago, 28 years old. So, and we have invested 100, and 1/4 is linked to sustainability in terms of water, energy. I can explain it to you very, very well today because we have suffered the gas crisis, a very critical gas crisis. We didn't have even resources to go. When the crisis of Ukraine started, we didn't have gas at fair price. We didn't have it. And still, we maintain the activity, and we have to do a restructuration in the sector. We have invested in a biomass plant because of sustainability. So we have paid for a megabyte of gas 12 times more than we are paying now. This is in terms of economics. I think that this is sustainability. And do you have to pay more? No, because we are seeking for productivity. Technology is driving us to be in more and more productivity. In terms of productivity, we are higher and higher, and we are performing much more. And in terms of origin, yes, you have to pay more. Why? Because, as I told you, with these women we are supporting, they are planting without any pesticide, without anything. So the production per hectare is much less than in the other case with big plantations. So, but you can choose. You can choose this or this or this or this, and you can choose the brand you trust in also, and the history that they are telling to you. So, answering in a nutshell, no, you are not paying more in terms of instant. This project I'm linked to, Supra Café, is another project. We are working a lot with origins, and we will have, all of us, we will have to pay much more. Nowadays, the coffee has increased since 2000 to 4,000 in London stocks. Coffee is the second commodity after petroleum in trading, so it's the speculation is really high, but the climate change also is affecting, and people is also going from rural areas to big cities. And this is happening in Colombia, this is happening in Guatemala, this is happening in all the producing countries of production. So we are going to have a coffee much higher in terms of price. And if we want to go to a very good one, we will have to choose between origins. If you want to choose the instant, that's an option. That's an option in terms of inflation. As I told you, you can get much more market because you can allow people to buy or to pay for coffee. I don't know if I've answered the question. Okay.
More questions? I have one. Just I enjoy a lot your talk. I'm curious about this fertility index that you mentioned. And first of all, congratulate your company for having this very high number. And why do you think it happens in your company? Did you go deep into this fertility index to know why?
Yes, because of this kind of flexibility that we are working with, because flexibility in both terms, in terms of I'm going to change my position because I'm able to, and this position is less exposed than this one in terms of time, in terms of different things, or I'm going to change with this member of the team that he or she wants to make nights, and I don't want to be during the night because I want to be with my father, my mother, my partner, whoever. So first, this kind of flexibility, and second, the flexibility I've been talking about with Maria in terms of voluntary leaves, measures dedicated for you to be allowed to manage this kind of situations with parents or with children, because we have a lot of cases with parents. You have to take into account that we have 85% of people. We have a lot of nationalities, but we have people from 36 towns. 85% are from the province of Palencia, with P. So yes, we have also Mexicans, German people, but we have a lot of people that is living there, and they have parents that live with them, and they are having this kind of responsibility. And culture is really important because, as you know, there are a traditional culture of taking care of your parents inside the home. So this is something that we have to change, but it's not a common way of proceeding nowadays.
So thank you so much. We can stay outside a bit if you want to talk with the speaker. So thank you, Rocío.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you.